Okay. Well, that last stream was a fail. Okay. Lovely, huh? Let's see. Okay. Now, hopefully that won't happen again. That was me. Hugs. That was my internet. That was my internet going out. Okay, so back to what I was saying is I don't know whether it is because this case happened here in my home state or if it's because of how or if it's because of how botched the investigation went, because the investigation makes me unbelievably angry as to what they... Yeah, I know. It's been acting up. I don't know. It's because the wind here has been absolutely ridiculous. So it's been fucking with the power and shit. But so this case happened in 1995. It happened on Christmas of 1995. I had just turned 4, I believe, in 95. Yeah, I turned 4 in 95 when this happened, and it happened in Boulder, Colorado. And initially, this case was thought to be a kidnapping, but it turned into a murder investigation once they started going. But this whole thing was botched from the beginning. Like, the responding officer, she did not do anything right at all. She allowed contamination to happen. She allowed people to come around. She didn't even in the case of a kidnapping, I get it was the 90s. I get that things were different back then. But still, protocol has always been when... Oh, hey, Shauna, what's up? Oh, I got distracted. My mind went off track. Okay, she didn't do anything right. The responding officer didn't do anything. She allowed... Oh, wait, I've already said this. So this is why live streaming is bad, because I have to pay attention to the chat, too. And, like, when paying attention to the chat, it's distracting. But she gets there, and originally the 911 call comes in, and it's Patsy. So the family members are Patsy, who's the mother, John, who's the father, and Burke, who is the brother. And Patsy calls 911 and says there's a kidnapping. And when the police... She doesn't really give anything other than that, by the way, either. Like, she doesn't give any name, she doesn't give any age, she doesn't give any description. She just says, my daughter's been kidnapped. And something odd as well when it comes to the 911 call is she thinks at the very end of the 911 call... See, I would play it for y'all, but I don't know how to do that yet because I'm not very tech savvy. Maybe Melly can help me since she's done this kind of thing before. But at the end of the 911 call, she thinks she hangs up the phone, but she doesn't. Stop distracting me. She thinks she hangs up the 911 call, but she doesn't. And in the background, you can hear her talking. And you can also hear other voices. It sounds to be 2 voices, which, you know, to anybody with a brain would automatically go, oh, so Burke and the father, right? Well, let's see here. I have a whole journal written with all of these notes on this case, but they're so, like, out of order. I knew I should have gotten prepared before this. I wasn't feeling good before the stream, so, like, I just jumped to it. I didn't even I was like, fuck it. So the police show up. So we'll start there from where I was losted. Where did you go? Where'd you get lost? So when the police get there, Patsy hands them this note. Okay. And this note, which is the ransom note. Okay. Here, I will do this though. So the ransom note is absolutely asinine. So when it comes to writing a ransom note, would you expect it to be long, or would you expect it to be short? Me, I would expect it to be short and sweet and like to the point, like I demand this, end of story, I wouldn't expect it to be very, very long. But all right, let's see here. This is the ransom note. Short and to the point. This is the ransom note. There are, I believe, 200 and something words in this ransom note. And it has information in it that would be only known to somebody who is either in the family or extremely close to the family, which is another one of the theories. There's an intruder theory, but that one's not really backed up. But yeah, this is the note. Like, let's see. Hi, Sarah. So, it uses like this right here. This is so weird to do. This right here. This is the amount of money that they demanded from the Ramseys when they're, you can kind of read it. I'm kind of shaky, but they say that they have their daughter and the $118,000 in specific format, $100 bills, and then the remaining in $20 bills. Like this is too specific for somebody to just, think of off the top of their head. This took a lot of time and effort to write. And they quote movies in here. I'm not sure. Well, yeah. You see, it's Burke. That's exactly where I think it was Burke, because if you get more into the case, which is like where I was going, like I had a specific pattern that I wanted to talk about, but like I explained in my last stream, my brain is literally everywhere and I can't focus on just one thing and I jump. But Burke that night was eating pineapple. So on Christmas, they went to a neighbor's home for a Christmas party. And they came home late. And supposedly JonBenet was sleeping. She was supposedly sleeping, and they put her right to bed. And Burke went downstairs and was eating a snack, which happened to be pineapple. Well, somehow, someway, little Miss JonBenet ended up with pineapple in her stomach. During the autopsy, they found pineapple, fresh pineapple too. It wasn't just, like she ate pineapple at the Christmas party. It was she ate pineapple when she got home from the Christmas party. Around the same time, Burke would have been eating pineapple. And not only that, but the crime scene photos. I wonder if they'll have it. I'll look really fast. But in the crime scene photos, they show a picture of the bowl of pineapple, and behind her, sitting on the counter, is one of them nice hefty flashlights, that are like nice and thick, and like if you did hit somebody over the head with it, it would cause harm, adult or child, because that's something that they that's something that they argue as well, is that why it can't be Burke. They say it can't be Burke because he was a 9-year-old boy and he doesn't possess that kind of strength, because other things were done to her too. So this is why I think it's a whole big bullshit cover-up, is because a lot of different things happened to that poor child. And it all just seems like the initial thing with whatever it was, I believe the pathologist or the coroner said that what actually killed her was a blow to the head. Blunt force trauma to the head, I believe, was what actually killed her. But they said that it was most likely that she was knocked out unconscious during some of it. And sorry, I'm trying to do 3 things at once again. But okay, yeah, the blunt force trauma is what actually killed her. She had a lot of other things happen to her as well. Okay, I'm looking for the crime scene photos. Oh, I guess it would help if I could spell pineapple, huh? That's sad. Well, they don't have... I can't find a picture, the one that I saw in the documentary. But they do have a picture of the flashlight. So, y'all tell me, what do you think? Do you think that that flashlight, even used by a 9-year-old, that big hefty flashlight, even used by a 9-year-old, would definitely do some damage? Doesn't matter, just because of how heavy it is. We'll study. And then, just to show y'all this, if it will load. This is the staircase. This staircase is in the back of the house, mind you. The staircase is in the back of the house, and as you can see, these are the stairs that the ransom note was left on. JonBenet's room is right up those stairs. Oops, right up those stairs and to the right, I think. And this is their house. This is JonBenet's house up in Boulder, Colorado. Back then, it was considered, you know, they were rich. They were on the wealthy side of living as well. Like, they weren't poor. And that was considered to be, quote unquote. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's why I definitely believe that it was Burke. Everybody thinks that it wasn't Burke because he was so small. But that's JonBenet. She was really pretty, and a lot of people believe that because she was a part of these pageants, they believe that, you know, it was one of them creepy pageant stalkers. Oops. I mean, she was really pretty, and that's Burke, her older brother, as of lately. I believe this was taken from the Dr. Phil show. He was on the Dr. Phil show. And if you watch him on the Dr. Phil show, he's kind of funky. You know, like, he doesn't act right at all. But, yeah, there's Patsy. There's her mom. Oh, yeah, and that fucking stupid conspiracy that JonBenet is Katy Perry. That's so stupid. I get it, but that's stupid. Let's turn this around. So, I mean, because they also found her. Oh, I didn't even explain that part yet. His interview was, oh, fuck yeah, it was creepy as fuck. Like, man, that's somebody who has a lot of guilt on their conscience, if you ask me. That's somebody who, like, isn't right in the head. My mom and I fight about this all the time because she thinks that Burke wasn't even capable of doing it, and that he would have cracked by now, and he would have said something, but I don't think so. I think it was completely a conspiracy cover-up. Well, maybe not conspiracy, but, well, family conspiracy. But, like, this stupid fucking... Ow. The stupid responding resource officer. The stupid first responding officer. So, I mean, she lets the Ramseys invite people over to the house during quote-unquote investigation. She lets people come into the house first. No. She didn't even secure the scene. Major no. Then from there, she tells John Ramsey and one of his little friends to search the house and see if anything is not right. What the fuck? She let them search the house. And not only that, but they searched the house not only once, but twice. She let them go through the house twice. And I believe it was the second, well, obviously it had to have been the second one. John takes his neighbor and friend, and he just goes straight to the cellar. He doesn't look anywhere else. He goes straight to the bloody cellar. And that's where she was. That's where they found her body. They found her body in the cellar. Mind you, let me see if I can look this one up. So, how it looked in that little room, right? Obviously, discretion will be taken in, and I will not show the actual crime scene photo with her body there. I will see if I can find the picture of the window, because this is what causes the most controversy, is the window in the room that they found her in. So in the room that they found her in, they found a window was open, and here it is. A window was open, and there was a suitcase right next to the window, you know. But the problem with this scenario that whoever set up was this right here. Okay, this is the outside of that window. Alright, the picture doesn't show it, but over here in like the corners, there were spider webs. Now, the window itself is big enough for a medium-sized person to semi-easily slip through. But the part that causes the most controversy is the fact of the spider webs were still there. The spider webs weren't disturbed, and this ground wasn't disturbed. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. And that was the other problem, was that there were no footprints anywhere. There were no footprints leading to or from the window. Because I believe there was, I don't know what that is. I believe there was snow on the ground at this time. I honestly don't remember a winter in the 90s not being snowy. So I'm pretty sure there was snow on the ground, but there were no tracks in and out. So the responding officer lets John and his buddy go through the house, and they find her in this room. Now, what happens is he moves her. He moves her upstairs. So first off, the first scene, the primary scene, is contaminated completely because John and his buddy were in that room. Now, what they do is they take her upstairs, but they wrap her in a fucking blanket, which of course contaminates because all trace evidence is basically, it doesn't mean anything anymore. And then after they wrap her in the blanket, Patsy comes in and lays over her. Now, when Patsy did that, Patsy transferred some trace evidence over to JonBenet's body. It was a red fiber because Patsy was wearing a red sweater. Patsy was also still wearing the same clothes from the previous night. She never changed clothes from the party. She said that she was so tired when they got home that she just fell asleep in her clothes. I don't believe that at all. Now, JonBenet's body, when it was found and examined, they noticed a whole bunch of different things. So, you know, a stun gun, not a taser, the one that not the thing that shoots the prongs out, but the stun gun. She had two. Oh, I didn't either. The parents were all fucked up, unbelievably bad. Like, they didn't cooperate at all. Like, they made it seem like they cooperated, but they didn't cooperate at all. They were not an easy pair to deal with at all when it comes to, like, I think they waited, 2 or 3 months or some shit like that to maybe even 6 or something like that to even have an interview. Like, it was ridiculous. But they found 2 wounds on her body. I think it was, I don't remember. It might have been on her neck or her back. I don't remember. I'm not looking at my journal either anymore, so I don't remember. But she had these marks on her, but they also matched up to, and they were fresh, by the way, but they also matched up to, not only did they match up with the stun gun, but they also matched up to Burke's train sets. So I guess Burke really liked trains, and he had a train set, and you know the tracks you can take apart and put together in different ways if you have the connection pieces and everything. And the wounds were exactly the same distance as the prongs on the end would have been to slide it into the connecting piece. The other thing, she was also strangled with a garrote. I believe a garrote was used. And the garrote was used from Patsy's art supplies. The paintbrush was Patsy's. All the materials came out of Patsy's art stuff. Also, speaking about Patsy, because I forgot to mention this earlier with the ransom note, they did handwriting analysis tests with everybody, with Burke, with John, with Patsy, and with other people as well. Because there was another person from the Christmas party who I haven't touched on yet that they thought was a suspect as well. So they did handwriting analysis on him as well. But Patsy actually came really close. She had a lot of identifying markers within her handwriting analysis. Somehow, she still got away with it. But I know in my heart of hearts that she wrote it. Just saying. It was on her notepad with her pen, and that freaking note, that note would have had to have least. You know what? I know the numbers. So, let's see. Let's look real fast. So, let's see, where would it be? I wish I was more organized. Like, that would really help my life a lot. Not just with this, but just in general. Oh, yeah, and JonBenet's mouth was also duct tape. It was also duct taped, and she had cords on her wrist, which did not match any cords in the house. Forgot about that. But the garrote was Patsy's paintbrush, and there were splinters on the floor where it was broken, where the paintbrush was broken. And all of the doors were locked, you know, from the inside. Like, a person, unless they had a key, there was no way that they were getting out of, or getting into the house, and then, like, locking it back up. Okay, so in that ransom note, there were 380 some odd words. It was worded funny, very specific, it was long, and it added unnecessary words. Like I said when you started it, you wanted to, like, if you're gonna do a kidnapping, you're gonna do it quick. You're gonna write a note really fast and get the fuck out of town. It was addressed to Mr. Ramsey. Like, there was no urgency in the tone, not like, it didn't start off of like, I have your daughter, you know, it was very personal. It was a personal letter. They have multiple motives, and they mentioned something called a foreign faction, which nobody has been able to figure out what they're talking about. We already went over how they demanded specific amount. Here we go, there. The lines that were quoted from the movies that I mentioned earlier, Dirty Harry is one of them, and Speed is one of them. And there are lines from other kidnappings in other movies, too. Now, the linguistic profile, everything that I have written down here, because this is basically where I stopped. But the writing style is very high, and there's very few mistakes, except for the fact that there were, like, purposeful grammatic errors, like small words being misspelled when you've got these big words that are being spelled correctly. And it's obviously a native English speaker who would be an adult, probably 30 plus, with the way that their grammatical equity, I don't even think that's a word. Forget that. And the gender they decided was very maternal sounding, so they figured it would be a female, and it was written in the house on Patsy's pad, and the pen was found under the phone. So to me it's almost like as soon as she finished writing that letter, she tossed the pen down and then called 911. I don't personally think that Patsy wanted to be any part of this, and I do think that she was very upset over what happened, but their family, with their rich status and how they were, I definitely think that she would cover it up for sure. But the estimated time to write the letter was 21 minutes. 21 minutes to write 380 plus words. Who in their right mind, well, obviously if you're going to kidnap somebody or murder somebody, you're not in the right mind, but who in the right mind, while even faking a kidnapping, is going to write that long of a letter? Like, even back in the 90s, like, really? Most of the time you got these short letters like, I have your daughter, give me this much or she's dead, end of story. And they even threatened in the letter that if they did not meet the criteria of the ransom, that they were going to kill her daughter, or their daughter. Why would anybody who already knows she's dead even say that? Like, I get that you're trying to cover it up, but why would you say that even if you were trying to cover it up? I don't know. This case gets on my nerves so bad because it was so botched. It's just so botched, and it bothers me so much because I do think, what do you guys think? Who do you guys think killed JonBenet? Do you think it was Burke? Do you think it was an outsider? Speaking of outsiders, so the outsider that I was gonna tell you about is there's a man that played Santa Claus, and he and JonBenet were actually pretty close. Never proven anything. It supposedly it was non-sexual, but it had been said that he had said something about giving her a special present or something, and she was also sexually abused. So let's not forget that she was sexually abused. But this Santa man, he could have very well done it. Like, if he was as close to the Ramseys as he says he is or was, maybe he had a key and it literally just never got brought up. I guess that's possible. Oops, let's not drop everything. Let's see. Anything else interesting? Probably not. I think I've covered most of it. Okay, so what actually killed her was a severe skull fracture. A depressive skull fracture, a severe hematoma, and it was the brain bleeding and swelling that actually killed her. But it fits perfectly. The indentation on her skull fits perfectly with the flashlight. I don't know why they never, I understand that forensics and investigations and everything, I understand that was not up to snuff like we are now, but I mean, just some common sense things, I don't know. Yeah, we've pretty much gone over most of it. Yeah, I feel like they knew too. I feel like they knew too. If you could just hear that 911 call, and if you could just and you just listen to the end of it, that is what just makes or breaks it for me. It breaks the case. It had to have been the family, because the things that were said were so close to cover up speech. I thought I wrote it down, but I'm not seeing it. Hold on, let me. Like I said, this whole freaking journal I have is full of things, but it's more detail than what we really need to talk about. No, I couldn't go along with it either, at all. Okay, so let's talk about Yeah, I wonder why too. See, truly what I think happened, and then I will break down the 911 call. What I think happened is I think it was Burke. Okay, I think Burke suffered from outbursts. I think he was a partially angry child due to all the attention that JonBenet got. I think he was jealous because everybody was always focused on her. JonBenet this, pageant this, beauty queen this. And there had been known instances between them where he got physical. Yeah, the brother out of spite for sure. And how I think it all transpired is I think he poked her. He probably poked her with the train set a couple days prior. I mean, the wounds, from what I saw, because I looked at the crime scene photos, from what I could tell, But they, right? I think they did have an alarm, but I don't remember that part. I don't know. Oh yeah, I feel like he had to have been jealous of her. And then it just like all boiled and bottled up. And I think he probably poked her with this train set a couple days prior to what this happened, which is why the wounds were so fresh. And what I truly think happened is I think he got angry at her. I think she woke up in the middle of the night, came downstairs, decided she was hungry, either saw Burke eating the pineapple on the table or just saw the pineapple on the table. She went to go eat the pineapple. He came in, got pissed off, and he hit her. And then the parents were like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And then they covered it up. Yeah, but this was also back in 1995. And in 95, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I only turned 4 in 95. I don't remember alarms in houses being a thing. I mean, like I said, I could definitely be wrong. Really? Where did you hear that? I've never heard that before. Because um, the newest documentary that they had talking about it, where they kind of semi reopened the case. Huh. Well, we weren't rich back then, well, we're not rich now either, so I guess I can't. Interesting. But I watched the newest documentary that they did on her about the new forensics when they went back over everything. And they definitely had said that the autopsy revealed that she did not die instantly. Oh. Well, like I said, I showed y'all the house. Like, maybe back then, that house, they were millionaires back then. And speaking of millionaires, the other weird part about the note is that JonBenet was getting not JonBenet, John Ramsey was getting either a raise or a bonus. I think it was a bonus. He was getting a bonus at work, which just happened to equate to $118,000. No, $118,000 or 80. But I'm really curious about where Shaunavis heard that. But I definitely Burke did something. And like I said, there were instances where he had hit her. I don't think he ever like truly hurt her before then, but I definitely let's quit out of that. I don't know, this case saddens my heart so bad. That poor little girl. Like, I wish I could solve this case. That's slightly another reason why I decided to do criminal justice and go into forensics. Like, there's a whole buck ton of reasons why I decided the criminal justice field. But JonBenet is definitely a part of that thrives that want. Like, any cold case. Oh, she was so beautiful. And from what I've heard, she was very, very kind too. And it bums me because we're literally like, she's 1 year older than me, I believe. So it just like, the fact that somebody My age never got to even see 15 bothers me. But I would give anything, any cold case, any cold or closed case can be solved. No, okay, maybe not any. But there are some out there that can be solved. And I feel like this one can be solved. And we are just looking in the wrong. Yeah, I remember it too. I had just happened to be like in the area. I just happened to be in the area of my parents watching the news. And I just happened to be in the area of my parents watching the news, and I saw it. And my school had talked about it because it was somebody of such a young age. And they were trying to, warn us to stay away from people. Does anybody, I don't know if it was just a Colorado thing, but does anybody remember McGruff? Did anybody deal with McGruff the crime dog? Oh yeah, it's sad. It is so sad. I can't even believe people. Like, mm-mm. Yeah, McGruff the crime dog. Okay, so it wasn't just a Colorado thing. But yeah, that's when they introduced McGruff to us, is after JonBenet. Because they didn't do it in my school system until JonBenet. Granted, my school system also hadn't been around that long. The town that I live in is literally about 27, 28 years old. Like my town, or city, my town, was nothing when we moved here. I've lived in the same house for 23, 22 years. I mean, I myself have moved out and, gone out and stuff, but like somehow I ended up back at my parents', which is a different story for a different day due to my health. But we've lived here for 22 years, and when we moved here, there was absolutely nothing. We had deer, we had elk, we had antelope, we had skunks, and we don't have that anymore. We do not have that anymore. We have deer come down very, very rarely. But yeah, I watched my neighborhood be built. My high school was built probably, I think, around 95. I might be wrong there, but I think it was like 95. Oh, yeah, I have, and I don't like it at all. I do not like the changes at all. Like, I have memories of when my neighbors' houses weren't even here, and our fences weren't even up, and our grasses were nothing but dirt, and they were putting in the trees and stuff. Like, I remember when all we had was a Safeway and a gas station. That's all we had at first. Safeway and a gas station and a McDonald's. And McDonald's has been there since the beginning. But my side of the town, anyway, I don't really know anything about the whole town. It's gotten bigger. It wasn't this big back in the 90s. Like it was very small, and then it just got bigger. And our county got bigger too. It covers a lot more territory than what it used to. I don't know. You know what? I really love Colorado. I don't think I could ever leave Colorado at all. Like I don't think I could ever move away from here. I need the mountains. I have a fear of the ocean. So being near the ocean probably wouldn't be good. I also have a fear of airplanes, too. Something about my feet not being stable on, like, stable ground. Oh, wow. See, yeah. When we first started, we didn't even have traffic lights. We didn't have traffic lights at all. We had, like, a stop sign. No main roads. The speed limit used to be 55. Oh, Charlene, that would be really cool. I think you should. I think you should visit. It's very nice here. I find it to be calming. I find it to be calming. Except when sounds like what I'm hearing now happen. Then it's not so calming. Then it's very like, what was that? I feel like a rabbit just got eaten. That's what I feel like that sound was. My area is full of coyotes. Like, it's kind of scary, actually. Really? Where? Do you know? Do you know what city, town, whatever the fuck they're called? I don't even know how to distinguish the difference between the two anymore. No, y'all have foothills. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Our speed limit's 45. They extremely enforce it. Ha 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 ha. You know, it used to be a small town. We really did used to be a small town. But now, I mean, we're blown up bad. Like, I mean, they're building a fucking hospital. Like, maybe 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. More like 7 with traffic. Which is nice. It's nice. But I mean, the other one's not that far. But we have a children's hospital, and they're building a whole bunch of new restaurants and bars, and it's like, damn it. Like, we ran some good wildlife out of here, and I miss it. I wish we had the antelope still. I don't even know. I haven't even seen an antelope in Colorado in a long time. See, I could deal with the bobcats, because we have mountain lions here, and I've come across a couple of them in the mountains, but you know what? I think I'm alright with the boar. My breaking the law? What do you mean you're breaking the law? Yeah, you know what? No boar. I don't like that thought of just like sitting sitting outside smoking, and then all of a sudden here comes like this giant boar. I thought they were called something else. Isn't there a different like big pig that's not a boar, but it's something else that's like a boar? Maybe it starts with an H. Huh. What the fuck is that called? Oh. Hog. Yeah. Thank you. That's it. You know what? I don't even like potbelly pigs. I could probably handle a teacup pig. Oh, you do? Oh, man. You know what? I guess I'm happy just having my little coyotes then. The problem with the coyotes in my area, is I have the suspicion that one specific pack has breeded with a German Shepherd. Because some of the ones that I've seen, especially at night, aren't right. They're big, and their coloring is a little different than what I've ever seen before. Yeah, I know. That's why So I'm not allowed to own hogs. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, that was bad to like get men online, huh? I'm funny. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know what? I had the chance. My parents were, instead of moving to this house, we were going to move to another house, like way up the way. And I could have had buffalo in my backyard. We were going to get a house that backed up onto a buffalo sanctuary. I'm so sad that we didn't. Because waking up with baby buffalo would be so great. I call them buffaloes. And it drives everybody crazy because they think I'm like, they think I literally think that they're called buffaloes. But that's what I used to call them as a kid. So I call them buffaloes. So if y'all ever hear me say that word, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna say it was probably about maybe, what year is it? 2018? Oh, fuck. Probably about 4 years now ago. I was driving my friend's car down our main road, and they built. Yeah, see, I'm good with the beaches. Like I said, I'm good. I don't do oceans. But I was driving down the main road in my friend's car, and on the main road, they decided to take the antelope and elk and deer space to build mansions. Absolutely asinine. But they've built mansions up there next to another set of mansions. And I don't know how they got there. Oh, haha, dope. I went canoeing down the Colorado River, and we camped, and I went hiking, like back into, like way, way, way back into the canyon where we were, and I found a Native American site. There was a fire pit, and there were some bones sticking out of the ground, and I dug some of those bones up, and I took some of the rocks from the fire pit, and I brought them home with me. So if anybody wants to see my bone collection, you can just ask, because I have one. I don't remember what I was saying before I went off on that tangent. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, hold on, I'll address you in a second. Gabby, I want to ask you a question about that. But, so I was driving down the main road, and they built all these damn mansions there. And I don't know how it did it, but since, it's not necessarily the middle of the night, but it's like between the middle of the night, like maybe like 11 something, maybe it was later than I remember, but I think it was like 11 something, and I'm driving down, and I'm loading my bowl, not giving a fuck, because it's nobody's around, like very, very, very little traffic on our roads at night, and I'm just loading my bowl, not giving a fuck. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's a fucking deer in the road. Like, I almost ran over a deer that I wasn't expecting. Like, I have no idea how that bastard got there, because they had to have come through a lot of big houses, and I don't know, like, where it came from, but I almost plowed straight into that thing, because I wasn't expecting any damn deer to be around here anymore. And I see them on the highway too, near me, and it's like, oh, where the fuck did you even come from? Like, there's no logical explanation of you being here, except for like you falling out of the back of a hunter's truck or something, and they just left it because it was on the highway. Okay, Gabby, what I was gonna ask you is what did you do back in 01, 02? Did you go down the Colorado River? And why didn't you tell me you were here? Like, that's mean. That's not even fair. It's not cool. Not tell me you're in Colorado Springs. You know, that's my hometown. I was born in Colorado Springs. And my biological mother and one of my biological brothers, their ashes are up there at the top of Pikes Peak Mountain. They spread them and they buried a couple little vials up there somewhere. I haven't been up there, so I don't know. That bums me out that I haven't been up there. You know what's weird and kind of like creepy about that brother's death? So most of y'all have heard me tell the story of my overdose when I drank myself to death. Wait, I thought you knew me before '04. You're probably right, but I thought I knew you before then. Oh, we started so what I did when we went canoeing, we went down the Colorado River from Fruita, and then we stopped at the stop in Utah, and then we came back. So that's what we did. And where I found the the bones was at they call them the Black Rocks, obviously because the rocks are black. So, and I went back due west, and then I think so. I went, that's probably north west from there. I'm confused. What? How could you know me in '03 but meet me in '04? That doesn't make any sense. But back to what I was saying. What is weird about my brother's death is I've talked about my overdose where I died. It happened in 2007. At the same time, my brother that I didn't even know about, well, I knew about him, but actually not really. I didn't know about that one. I knew about my sisters and another brother, but anyway, he, on the same day, literally, he overdosed on heroin. And he died. And I died, but I lived. They brought me back in the ambulance. And I just think that's really strange. I think it's like really strange. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were calling me a dummy, and I'm like, well, it's been a long time. Oh my god, she makes me want to vomit, but let's not talk about her. She's as bad as somebody else I know as of lately. But we won't get into that one. But yeah, I think that's really funky, isn't it? Huh? Like, how are you gonna have? So, and my oldest brother, I put my life on it. So, he was visiting Highlands Ranch. No, don't have your heart breaking. It's okay. I'm here. And that's the important part. It was an accident, too. It was truly an accident. And like I said, I didn't even know about that brother, and I never got a chance to meet him. So, and I think it's just very strange. But my oldest brother was visiting my area, which I already said out loud on accident, but that's okay because I don't give a fuck. Um, oh, well, I'd call me a dummy. um, so he was looking at homes here before we met, and he was with our other sister, and he almost caught, I swear to God, he almost ran headfirst into me because he wasn't paying attention. And the only reason why I'm like, even because it could have been any, like, I bet y'all are like, it could have just been anybody. It could have been, except for the fact that he was driving a car from North or South Dakota. I can't remember which one. I think it's North. But he was driving a car with those plates, and those are the plates. Those plates are the plates I looked at because I got a good look at the driver and it looked identical to my brother. So my brother almost killed me. And then I found out that back in 2008, maybe even early 2007, 6 even, my sister, like my biological siblings, my sister was working at the gas station that's by me, where my friend, the one that Gabby's been talking about in the chat, she was buying me cigarettes from my sister when I was like 15, 16. How ridiculous is that? Everybody was right in front of my face, and I had like no idea. Oh, thank you, Alicia. Yeah, it was a bad day. Like I said, it was a complete and total accident. I was completely naive and sheltered to what, like, the effects of alcohol can do to the body. Like, I was not mentally aware that it could kill you. So I pretty much drank it like a fish. Because I could take vodka straight, like, no problem. It was just like water. I could do that up until recently. Now I can't really handle hard alcohol because I drank too much as a teenager and young adult. That's the only thing I've ever gotten in trouble with the law with too, is alcohol. Never got in trouble for smoking underage, and never got in trouble for giving cigarettes to kids underage. Like, I got the shoplifting charge because my friend was shoplifting and I didn't, but I was an accessory, so I was charged as an accessory to theft or shoplifting or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know, I was like 17. It happened after my overdose. Because I was just in that, like, fucked up mind state. And, with those damn MIPs. So, my dumbass decided, and I, like, fucked over my middle school, by the way. Like, I don't know if the rule is still in place, but for a while there, they put a rule on the school because of me. So, I was, like, kind of bullied into, like, I could have stood my ground, but I was, like, bullied into bringing alcohol to school and giving it to this chick. Mind you, this chick was very tiny. Tiny waist, very short, tiny little girl. Okay? And I had gone to King Soopers and I got one of those Venom energy drink bottles. Like, you know, the ones that are like metal, and they're like, yeah, they're metal. I think the brand is Venom. I don't know if they're still around, but I got one of those and I filled it halfway up with vodka, and I gave it to her and she almost died. Like, she chugged it all. Like, it's not funny, but like, that little tiny girl chugged all that vodka, like, damn, I thought she was gonna like be chill with it. Yeah, see, yeah, I didn't drink it. I just got it to conceal. Cause like she was being nasty and like threatening me, and I just wanted it to end, right? So I brought her to school, and she drank it all pretty much within the first two class periods. And she got alcohol poisoning. And I got expelled and charged with a minor in possession and giving a minor alcohol, which I didn't. Oh, you know what? That is really freaking clever. Um, One of my friends, why wouldn't I be able to say dumbass? Oh, me. Ah, yes, I know I'm a dumbass. I know. That's really smart. One of my friends, her mom and dad were the janitors at my high school, and uh, we used to eat lunch with them just to get away from, everybody out there being assholes. So we go eat lunch with them, and the mother was all like, because I told her the story, and she's like, why, well, what most people do is they put it in hairspray bottles. Like, that's pretty smart, because, there's hairspray out there that smells exactly like alcohol, like vodka, anyway. I don't know about, like, or, like, witch hazel, because witch hazel kind of smells like, rum, like rummy, like ginny. But so yeah, that was my first charge, was the me bringing alcohol to school, and I got expelled from middle school for that. But then I had a deferred sentence, so they brought me back in. I just had to change pods. They brought all of us back in, and we had to like change pods and whatever. But yeah, that was that was bad. And then of course with my overdose, I got another MIP. And then later, when I was okay, it was fucking okay, so my birthday is in December. So it was the July before my 21st birthday. So I was still 20 when this happened, right? And I went to a park with some friends, and I accidentally drank a whole bottle of 100 proof Southern Comfort. Okay, number one, I didn't know it was 100 proof. And number two, I didn't realize I was the only one drinking out of the bottle. Other people were holding it, like it was in other people's hands. So I just automatically assumed that they were drinking it. No, they were not drinking it. I drank it. I drank the whole bottle to myself. And then somehow we ended up at somebody's, yeah, yuck is right. I don't know. Well, no, it wasn't yuck because it was cherry. And I love cherry. Like all the whiskeys that have the cherry tint to them, like Jameson. To me, Jameson tastes like it's just pure straight cherry juice with a kick. Please don't hurt your foot again. That would be really bad. You've hurt it bad enough already. But my overdose is my second MIP. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the third one. Um, the third one, somehow we ended up in somebody's freaking apartment, and then I was so drunk that I was like blacking in and out, and I ran out of the apartment, and I crawled down like 3 or 4 flights of stairs, and then I took off running and screaming into the parking lot of the apartment complex, and someone called 911, and the police came. And that's where I don't remember. So I remember the police talking to me, and I lied to them about my name, But then they asked me for my social security number. I gave them my social security number. So I don't know how I remember my social security number with how drunk I was. But I did, and they're like, yeah, you're not who you say you are. But I was taken in. I was taken into the jail and thrown in the what do they call it? I don't remember. Like detox. The pen, no. I don't remember what they call it. But they threw me in to detox, and I woke up in a cell. And I thought I killed somebody. Like I thought I drove drunk, and I thought I killed somebody. I thought I killed somebody for a good 3 or 4 hours before somebody would tell me what happened. And thankfully I wasn't driving, but I thought I did. I definitely thought that I decided to get behind the wheel of a vehicle and I thought I killed someone. Yeah, the tank, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, that was unpleasant. My I don't even know what happened that night. That's what bothers me the most is like I had to have 100% blacked out, like passed out, blacked out, cuz I don't remember being cuffed. I don't remember being in the back of the car. I don't remember being in the jail. I don't remember going in there. I don't remember anything. And I woke up, face down. So I'm pretty sure they just threw me in there cuz I woke up with a bunch of bruises and I don't know whether I was being, an asshole. Like I don't know if I was trying to like fight the cops or anything cuz I can see myself doing that. So I don't know if I was trying to like fight them or what. But I definitely got fucked up that night. My clothes were ripped, and I don't think it was from the stairs. There were bruises in places where like they couldn't have been from the stairs, and there were fingerprints. So I know that they had a very tight grip on my arms. But I'm also fat and like pretty heavy, and if I did pass out and they had to like carry me some way and like use my arms and like carry me, I can understand the bruises. So I understand if that happened, but I think I was fighting them. Yeah, I panicked. When I woke up, I was panicking. I had my back to the door and I was kicking on that metal door and screaming. And finally they came in and told me that I really needed to shut the fuck up. Like I really needed to shut the fuck up or I was in trouble. And I asked them what happened and they just shut the door on me. And I had to wait until they thought I was sober enough to talk to me. So I had to sleep. I slept some. It was so cold in there. I mean, unbelievably bad. And I was throwing up blood. All right, sweetie. I'll message you later. Have fun with that. I almost honestly can say I kind of don't miss waking up and having to make and feed a baby. Yeah, I don't know. But I as well took care of a child that wasn't mine for a little bit. It breaks my heart. I miss that kid so much. He's so big now. But me and baby daddy had bad issues. So sometimes you miss waking up to feed the baby. I don't know. Like, of course, one day I want my own children. Like, I want to adopt. Well, some I have no choice, but I since I'm adopted, I've always wanted to adopt, to like give back. Mm. I have my mixed emotions about adoption. It can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It depends. I guess it doesn't all depend on the parent, but it definitely depends on the parent. The parents can make it a good experience or they can make it a bad experience. And I know people who have had both. Um, you know what? I'd almost take you up on that deal just to whoop into shape. But, no. Thank you, though. He would probably run away and run right back to you. Because I am strict. Mm-mm. See, my kid is gonna hate the fuck out of me because the first phone they're gonna get is the first phone I had. They're getting a motherfucking flip phone. They're getting my first flip phone. That's what they're getting. No smart technology until they're like 15. And they're gonna play outside like I did when I was a kid. They're gonna learn how to play Foursquare. Oh, poor thing. I bet he does. Poor little tortured soul. God. Every, everybody dislikes their parents and how they do things until they get older and actually appreciate what they've done. I mean, I was kind of like that too. My family and I haven't really gotten along all my life per se. And then every time I run, I come back. Yeah, my first phone was a corded phone as well. I don't know if Ben is in here still. I don't even see him typing. I haven't seen him say anything in a long time. So I don't know if he's still in here. But that's how we had to correspond back in the day. He would call me on hit. So, I mean, this is still, so obviously I grew up with a corded phone. But, I'm going to say still early 2000s, we still had a cord phone. And that's how me and him communicated. He was on his little flip phone and I was on my fucking cord phone. I'm surprised I never accidentally strangled myself with that. Like, I did some stupid shit when I was a kid. I got a Barbie shoe stuck in my nose once. That was very unpleasant. Oh man, I was a stupid kid. Although I've turned into a pretty stupid adult sometimes too. Funny how that works. Oh man. Well, I appreciate you guys coming for the stream. I'm sure it wasn't as exciting as it could have been. Or should have been. Today's just been kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. It's been iffy today. It's like in the atmosphere. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know what's worse. A Barbie shoe or a cell phone button. That's great. I had something stuck in my ear, but I don't remember what it was. I love you too, sweetie. Alright, I think I'm gonna close off for tonight. And next time I will definitely be more ready and more energetic. Like I said, tonight's just weird. I don't know. Today's just been funky. But really, I appreciate each and every person who came out and was watching. I see there's still 4 in here. So, thank you. Hopefully you'll join me on my next one. I will add my Twitter to the description. And I'll probably do, and I'll add my Facebook as well. Charlene, you're on my Facebook. But I will probably do a couple polls, seeing what you guys want to talk about. I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot of different material. It's just something told me, fuck it, and talk about JonBenet. I was thinking about her earlier, or last night. So, I figured why the hell not. So, yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna head out. Everybody have a wonderful and a good night. And again, thank you. And I will message some of you here in a little bit. Oh, look, here I am being a dumbass, look, trying to close it out on my laptop. Thank you, Alicia. Well, if you have any suggestions on what you would like to hear about or talk about or anything, or if you like want to come on here with me and we can like all talk about something or whatever, just let me know. And I'm sure it would be easy to work something out if you're interested. So just hit me up on Twitter or whatever. Have a great night, everybody. Love you all.